This is Alex, the Beer Master. Welcome to Stout Sunday. Johnny Boy is away for the weekend. He will be back on next Sunday, unless I hear something else. As far as I know, he'll be back with Michael next Sunday at 10:30 in the morning on his channel, known as John A. Nelly or Georgia Beer Reviews. Look that up if you have trouble using his name. Then we got KBS and stuff like that. And you're wondering what it is, Michael. It is 12% by volume. The IBUs I don't see. So
I think there's 60.
Okay, 60. All right, so I'm gonna let you show what your beer is.
Okay,
I guess I don't have to blow you up then, right? Since just me and you.
Just the two of us. This is from Trader Joe's. It's their Bosun's Chocolate Stout at 5.4%, and they don't tell you the IBUs on it, and there's no website for these beers. I mean, they're only available in Trader Joe's stores. They're brewed in Wisconsin for Trader Joe's exclusively, and if you have Trader Joe's stores in your area, you can get them. And this is a stout brewed with cocoa powder. This is a revisit for me. I've had this before, but it's definitely a financial value in that you can get these cans for like 86 cents a piece for 12 ounces. We'll see how it tastes today. It's usually not a world-class thing. Yours is the thing you're drinking is world-class. This is more of a everyday kind of beer kind of thing, but it's a value beer.
True that. It all depends on whoever's in the mood. I mean, most people sometimes do drink stouts, stronger stouts in the morning, especially Johnny Boy. But that's very rare, sometimes if he's whoever's in the mood for it. So now this is what I got. KBS, the original. Well, it's original when it comes to the CBS, the KBS Espresso, and KBS Mackinac Fudge. So this is original KBS, but then there's also obviously the breakfast stout that obviously spun off the KBS series, I believe. I'm not really sure, but I think that's because this is the barrel aged version. That's why it's called KBS Espresso, KBS, all that good stuff. CBS. Yeah. So I'm gonna pour this up. Unless you want to pour your up first.
You can pour yours. Now let's go ahead.
All right.
Start it.
All right, my friend. I still can't believe that you and Johnny Boy decided to do a beer show at 10:30 in the morning. It just blew my mind. All of this time. It's crazy. All right, let's pour this up, shall we? Oh, nice smoke, too. I know. This is not the true Alex Beer Master pour, but I also can get good by doing this as well. All right. Well, Michael, it's your turn to pour up, and I'll do my smelling and tasting and all that next week.
Okay, we will do that. You can watch the pour from here. I think I have a little bit more of a head than you do, but it's the difference in the types of beers that we're dealing with. This is a chocolate stout, lower alcohol, so it's going to have more fizzy foam and whatever, very dark brown in color. You can't really see through it. It might be a little bit of a red hue at the bottom, but it's definitely very dark brown, and the head is beige, and certainly a nice looking beer in my Captain Lawrence glass.
Ooh. Looks beautiful. I don't even know what Captain Lawrence is. I'm assuming that's a beer or a rum.
It's a brewery in Westchester County, north of where I am.
Oh, not too far from you. Okay.
Not too far. Certainly a place I could visit if we were not dealing with pandemic conditions still. And things will get better over time. But I had never visited it before. So probably about maybe 40 miles from me.
So you're looking forward to visiting it in the next several months to a year.
At some point I might, but it's funny now, the local beer scene in Brooklyn now and around me here in the New York City area, even before the pandemic, had blossomed to the point there are a lot of places right around me that I haven't visited yet. So it might be a while before I go into the suburbs.
Right, because you want to make sure everything's golden first.
Right. And that we'll see what happens. It's certainly better than it was a year ago at this time. And as more people get vaccinated, it's going to get better and better. So
yeah, well, I mean, the cases are dropping and dropping, so it's even better and better. So thank God for that. So
it's all a good thing.
Yes, it's all a good thing. Yes. So,
do you want to go first on your description?
Heck yeah. Unless you want to go first, but you said I can go first.
You can go first.
All right, thank you, my friend. First thing you smell is like a chocolate roasty coffee. First thing in the smell. You smell, if it's just me, but I smell just a little bit of vanilla, because obviously you're supposed to have some vanilla and all that. Oh, and by the way, if you can try I'm pretty sure Michael's tried it because he has the Pamphlet Club. Please try that one as well. That is also, but that's not a stout. Just to let you know that is a porter. Although a porter could be a stout, and a stout could be a porter. It all depends on what you can think of. Either way, smells roasty. Smells very delightful. I guess I can get in. I guess I should try it now. Huh? Cheers.
Okay. Cheers, Alex.
Very delicious. First thing you taste is like coffee, a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of booziness. And it also has a nice little burn down the chest. That's not, I guess it means it's higher alcohol. Very creamy, a little bit of creaminess. The mouthfeel has a little thickness because it should be thick because it's a 12% beer or, whatever it may be, 13, all 9 yards. But yeah, it's a very good beer if you can get it. Everybody can get it. I think it comes out, it's supposed to be out all year round, but you never know what these kind of beers. It used to be that it was a specialty beer. You could only get it maybe once or twice a year or whatever, just like the KBS Espresso and the CBS. Although the CBS, I think they discontinued that for the moment. But then they come back 5 years later or 2 years later. So people have to push for that, and I think it should come back because that is a good beer. I actually have 2 CBS beers. Sorry, I got on a rant, but it's a good rant. So this is a good beer. Very chocolatey, like I said, very coffee, very roasty, very good stuff. So I'll give my rating next time around. It's a good beer. Like I said, please get the KBS. Try it out. And like I said, if you don't like it, don't get it because it's a hard alcohol. It's a lot of alcohol. If you do like it, I recommend it.
Okay, so before I start on mine, and the rest of the people who've been on when we've done these and other wild card events and other things, my food co-op no longer handles founders. They don't we get all our beer from distributors. They don't buy anything directly. It's from distributors. But when founders had the lawsuit against them, there was a discrimination lawsuit against them.
Oh,
I guess 3 years ago.
Oh,
food co-op decided, and it in some ways it's unfair because the lawsuit was settled.
True that.
The lawsuit was settled, and Founders admitted no responsibility for any of the discrimination. And the person who won the lawsuit or got money from the lawsuit was told he could not discuss the findings or whatever it was. It was settled, and that was it. The food co-op decided we have X number of beers that we can fit in our rotation. Would no longer handle it, since we do have the choice that we can do it that way, and they do, because they can handle anything they want. So I was disturbed by this, and I spoke to the buyer, and what she told me was it's not something that they're willing to discuss, because they do have 200 different beers or whatever it is, and Founders is a fine product. She admitted it, but it's just something where if there's any hint of discrimination that might have happened, that was enough. They didn't have to be found guilty of it for the co-op to do it. So it doesn't mean I can't buy Founders beer. It just means I can't buy Founders beer in a single. So in other words, in order for me to buy, I have to buy, if I want to buy the thing you're drinking today, the KBS, I have to buy a 4-pack. Doesn't mean I can't. It just means that in my personal way of doing things, I try mostly to not buy 4-packs, 6-packs, 12-packs, and I do buy them in assortments sometimes, where I'll buy a 12-pack where there's 4 beers, 3 each kind of thing. I'll do that, or I'll even buy a case with a 6-pack of each. But the difference financially is in barrel-aged beers, cost of each beer is much more money. So you're tying up more resources in those beers if you buy a 4-pack. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't have the need for a 4-pack of KBS or CBS when they sold it, or Panther Cub, or any of the other things they carry. So the only chance I'll get to buy them is if I can buy it in single form somewhere else, or if somebody sends me one. John sent me the Panther Cub. I thank him. So I got to try it in that group that was done a couple of weeks ago. I think 7 of us did it. It was terrific. You were there, Alex.
Yeah.
7 of us did it. It was terrific. I really enjoyed it. I said it was world class. I mean, it was very good. It's not as substantial as the beer you're drinking, because it was a porter and it was not brewed to be the same way. But for what they did with it, it still had the same barrel-aged effect. And I will continue to look for a place where I can buy Founders singles. It's not impossible that I could find it. And I'd probably even be willing to pay more to buy a single than tie up the money to buy a 4-pack. And that's just the way I am. Because let's say in the co-op, when they did sell it, you could get that beer that you have for like, I think it was like $5.50. So a 4-pack would have been like $22. I would pay $6 or $7 for one if I had if I was going to be drinking it in a group setting where you're doing an examination. I would pay more money, because then it's one and done. I have it, I drink the beer, and that's the end. Otherwise, I have 3 more of them sitting around, and I don't have that much use for it. That's just a personal issue kind of thing. So
but I feel you like the aged beer too.
Sometimes, as a matter of fact, John sent me another time the Mackinac fudge. So I have one of those right now, which is being aged, because I was able to get one myself after John had sent it. I was able to go to what we call here, and you probably have them where you are too, bodega, which is like a small Spanish supermarket.
Bodega.
Okay.
So I'll have to take a look at that.
Here in some of the Spanish neighborhoods, you'll get a bodega, and it's just like a small supermarket. And again, they jack up the beer prices. So I think I paid for that Mackinac fudge. I think I spent $8, which for what it was really good. I enjoyed it. And I did it on it was either on Malty Monday, or it was on a separate event just for Mackinac fudge. But I did it. And then John had sent me the second one. So that one is now in with I have a box that I have with beers that I'm aging. I don't have a lot of I might have 5 beers in there right now. And a lot of times they don't make it, because what happens is something else comes up where I need that beer for a Malty Monday or for a specific event. And I end up, taking the beer. and I don't get to try it later. In other words, let it age over time. And you've had the Mackinac Fudge several times. It's a wonderful beer. That's another world-class beer. So I have nothing but respect for Founders' whole barrel aging project, and I think they do a wonderful job. And I think you will see the CBS in the future, but as long as they keep coming up with all these different barrel-aged beers, I think the CBS will have to wait for them to, run out of stuff to do, because I think their theory is they know that it would sell, but they would rather open the market up wider with more beers, and they can keep doing those and seeing how they go over. And maybe they'll have like a CBS commemorative where they'll come out when it's a certain amount of years since its inception, and maybe they'll have a special thing, and for that year they'll drop a lot of it on the market, because people do like it.
So cool.
For sure. But I'm going to go ahead now with mine. I showed it at the beginning. I will show it again. It looks like it's Boatswain, but it's pronounced Bosun, and it's a chocolate stout at 5.4%, brewed by, I think, let's see who the brewer is. But it's a Trader Joe's brand, only available in Trader Joe's stores.
Yeah, but our Trader Joe's in New Jersey don't have it. So I wonder.
The Trader Joe's store has to have an alcohol license in order to sell.
True that, my friend.
So there are some Trader Joe's stores that do not have alcohol licenses and therefore cannot sell it. I need a little more light. I'll be right back.
Go ahead, my friend.
Because I want to give you the brewer. Okay, so the brewer is Rhinelander Brewing of Rhinelander, Wisconsin, and they do have their own line of beers also that they do sell. So you can get other Rhinelander beers under their own name. But this is one they brew specifically for Trader Joe's. If you saw when I initially poured it, the head was more vigorous and probably a full finger. Now it's down to a thin, still beige head. And let me get a nose on it.
And thanks for joining, Michael. I enjoy doing these shows with you, my friend.
I appreciate you hosting it.
I love it.
I don't have a StreamYard. I have a StreamYard account. I don't have a StreamYard setup to actually, do it. So I'm happy that you do. The main nose that I'm getting is like a cocoa chocolate. And that's the dominating smell. You're not really getting roasting malt in this. You're getting some chocolate too, but cocoa, and it's made with cocoa powder, so it's not surprising. Cocoa is dominating, and cocoa is kind of chocolate too. But that's mainly what you're getting, and it's a very mild nose. It's not vigorous, and like I said, it's sessionable at 5.4, so the alcohol's not high. But let me give a taste.
Through that, and I hope you could. You obviously had Flying Fish beers before. I really think you should try the coconut. I don't know if it's still around now because it was for St. Patrick's Day, but it was the candy thing I showed you. It's the orange and green can. It's like a 10% beer. It was really good. It tastes really like coconut. Good stuff.
I'll have to look for it because I'm somebody who does like coconut in beer, and I've had several good coconut beers.
Delicious.
I did not like. There was some coconut beer that I didn't like as much that John did like. I found it to be a little artificial, and that could have been another company. I'm not even sure. But let me give you a little quick view of what this is.
Okay, my friend.
It's smooth. The chocolate is, I don't know. It's like a cocoa chocolate combination, and the chocolate is like a mild milk chocolate. Because, a lot of these beers, you'll get baker's chocolate, dark chocolate. This is not that. This is not sweet either. It's like in the middle. You're getting an evenly balanced product. And they call it a chocolate stout. I guess it's really a cocoa stout, but I guess cocoa and chocolate are intermingled. You notice the lacing is still really nice. And when you swish it, you're getting good head retention, which is nice. And The mouthfeel is on the low side of medium, but it's very drinkable. And as I said at the beginning, nobody is going to call this world class.
No, because like you said, it's like a 3 or 4%, 5%.
It's only 5%, 5.4%. So it just doesn't have the, I don't know a way to describe it. It doesn't have the metal, the feel that you're going to get from a barrel aged stout. So it's just, it is a stout, but it's more of a session stout. But there's nothing wrong with it. And comparing it, and just to give a quick comparison, because I know you've tried some of these too, the Samuel Smith makes a chocolate stout. Theirs is better than this. And it could be because they're brewing, their water is better, but they have a better reputation in brewing stouts for a longer time. And this one that we're drinking is basically just a commercial stout. There's nothing wrong with it. It's good. I'm enjoying it, and I would buy it again. And like I said, it's what I would call a value stout. As all the beers, if you go to Trader Joe's and you have one where they can sell alcohol, and maybe you could go into Pennsylvania where they may sell alcohol in a Trader Joe's, which you're not that far from the Pennsylvania border. You could take a road trip at some point maybe and do it, or maybe somewhere else in New Jersey they have liquor licenses.
Well, actually, one of my subscribers, Bert, I believe I got the name. I'm trying to read this. Trader Joe's, New Jersey.
He says it cannot sell alcohol.
Nope. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. All right. So that's a negative thing. So that means that you're closed out, at least in your home state, from getting the Trader Joe's beers. You're not that far from the Pennsylvania border, though. You can buy beer in Pennsylvania. And it's interesting. We cannot, at this point, and it could change in the future, get any beer in Aldi stores in New York. And yet I have a friend who lives in Connecticut, and I know in Vermont, Aldi stores do sell beers. So it's not like in New York State, they can't get a license to do it. They're choosing not to do it. So over time, and I've had my friend bring me back beer from Connecticut before, and they have some quality things, some that's, what I would say is below even this beer that I'm drinking today, but they have some average beers too, but some that are really good. So if they did have it available here, I would buy it. It's just that a beer license is not a minor expense. So the store and the Aldi chain, I guess, has not gotten to the point where they've decided in New York State to do that. At some point in the future, they can. Obviously, beer is sold in supermarkets here round the clock. So the only time I think in New York that you can't buy beer is on Sunday morning from 8:30 till 12. And
I think that's what happens in Georgia with Johnny Boy. He cannot buy beer or anything until 12 o'clock, 12:30.
So that's the only blue law that's that's here in I think it's the whole state, but I'm
not sure.
I know the food co-op in the morning on Sunday when they are open, they put like these big cloth coverings over the whole beer department, so you can't even look at it until 12 o'clock.
Oh.
They probably take it off before 12, so you can look at it, 11:30, but they won't do any cash sales because it's against the law.
They need to change that law. And
I agree. These are antiquated laws that were probably from the 19th century, and they should definitely get rid of them.
Yeah, it's just time to move on. I mean, if people don't want to drink in the morning, they don't have to. If they do, fine, whatever. But I only drink in the morning only for Stout Sunday or Stout Sunday with Johnny Boy.
Well,
that's it.
The derivation of Stout Sunday was that my wife would normally be asleep, and that was a good time to have them. And then it seemed like it did catch on because there were people who weren't doing anything on Sunday morning, and they said, well, as long as I don't have anything scheduled to do. So he's saying in Delaware there's no alcohol in Trader Joe's as well. That's another.
Wow, that's crazy.
And that's another border state of yours. The difference in Delaware is you have to cross a paid bridge and then you have to come back. So there's a toll involved with going.
Oh, yeah.
which is not true in Pennsylvania. You can cross into Pennsylvania without paying a toll at certain locations. There are obviously bridges too, but there are places you can get into Pennsylvania for free if you're driving. You don't have to.
Right. For instance, like you know where Philly is. When you go on the highway over here, you keep going straight, and then you get that toll. But that's because I think that's Philadelphia. But I think that's Philadelphia's in Pennsylvania, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right, but there are places, and the only reason I know there are places where you can do it. There was a time when we had to go through. My daughter went to school at the University of Delaware. Now she's been.
Oh, cool.
She graduated a long time ago. So she's 32 now. So she graduated 10 years ago. But when we used to go down to visit her and stuff, there was a reason, and it was because a highway was closed or something else strange, and we had to go through Pennsylvania for some weird reason. And we were able to cross from New Jersey into Pennsylvania at some bridge crossing without a bridge. It wasn't in Philadelphia, though. It was somewhere else where Jersey had a border with Pennsylvania. And it was just it was a bridge, but it was just a small bridge over the river. And I'm not sure what river even that is. I know in Philadelphia they have the Schuylkill River, but it wasn't that one. It was a more major river than that separated New Jersey from Pennsylvania. And we were able to cross.
Hudson River? No, the Hudson River's New York.
I don't think it's the Hudson River either. But whatever it is, there's also a river separating Jersey from Delaware, which you take this major bridge. I think it's a Delaware Memorial Bridge, which goes across. And
I guess that would be the Delaware River.
Maybe the Delaware River.
Mm-hmm. I'm guessing. I don't know.
Okay, so anyway, let me get back to this.
Sorry, Michael. Me and you have these awesome conversations.
It's okay to talk about life and the way things are going.
Yes. Go ahead, Michael.
This, for what this beer is, it's very good. It's a good, smooth drinking chocolate stout, which is not promising anything more than it's delivering. It's made with cocoa powder. It's fine. And I will give a score on it. I guess it's funny now when we say the next time around, since there are only two of us here.
Yeah, I don't know. See what it is. I Robert, he used to join us, and I guess he's busy with the oil stuff.
He's got back, I think, where his company, his geological stuff that he does, where he goes out on these deals to the oil wells, that's started again. So now sometimes on the weekend, he's not home. He's doing these different. I know he did one in Nebraska. He does stuff where he has to go to a well. Robert is a geologist. That's his profession. So
he sure is.
He works for companies that are dealing with wells. So sometimes he has to, do his business, and he'll take off, and he won't even be here for the weekend. Sometimes Jeremy is on. Sometimes Shane comes on. So we have a regular group of people. But the consistent group of people have been you, me, and John, and Jay is on more often than he's not.
Ron Terry, yeah, that's true.
When baseball season starts, he seems to have games on Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, but he doesn't want to drink if he has a game coming up in the afternoon.
Right, and then I don't know when Johnny Boy will be home. I guess later tonight.
Well, he's flying. He flew on this trip. He didn't drive up to Boston.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
He'll be flying in sometime today, I assume. And I'm sure he had a really good time with Brandon and Trish and Bumpy, because can you imagine all four of them going around to different breweries? It must have been a blast.
I mean, I'm really looking forward to meeting Johnny Boy eventually. I'm looking forward to meeting Brandon and Trish. I really and Alan. I'm hoping to one day meet him too. You have to understand, Drunken One, Brandon, Trish, Alan, all those people took me out of my shell. I would not be doing these shows if it wasn't for those YouTube friends of mine.
So that's a good thing.
I wouldn't be doing Stout Sunday. I'd be too scared. Because I remember in 2016, I decided I was on the beach. My friend, took a picture or a video, and I put it up, and I took it down when I got up the next day. I could not sleep. I had a panic attack. I was thinking someone was going to come after me. I said, you know what? No, I'm not doing YouTube. I don't know, but it was just scary.
That was a long time ago. We're in 2021. You're a different Alex now. You're not the same person anymore.
Well, no, because I didn't have YouTube friends at the time.
Okay, I'm saying, so you've changed now to the point where you have more self-confidence and things are better.
Yeah.
Out of your shell or whatever, and you're doing better, and that's great. That's all good.
I mean, my channel is 269 subscribers now. Jesus.
I'm saying, so you're doing these beer examinations and you're learning more about beer as you go along, and it's making you more self-confident, which is a good thing.
I mean, when I go out, I mean, I know you and I know Audrey's probably up now because obviously I saw you talking to her. But you know, when when I leave work, I'm so happy. I go to work, and then when I go for lunch, I go and order my food. I literally go to the place and order my food because I like talking to people. So I do that, and it just gives me great confidence in myself, and I'm very proud.
So it's good. Look, people go in different stages in their lives, and they change, and it's a good thing. And I only know these people that we're talking about through the same YouTube channel that you do. I've never met John. I have met Jay. Jay has been up here to visit me. So I have met Jay once in 2015.
And I'm sorry that I used your wife's name. I didn't mean to do that. I wish I never did.
It's fine. Audrey hasn't met anybody either, even though at the beginning of the pandemic, when we were on Zoom for a while, because I do those, remember the ones I do on Thursday? Where I invite
when you normally have people over your house, yeah.
All right. So at the beginning of that, there was only one person who would be willing to come over, and he came over. His name is Brian, and we would do it on Zoom, and different people throughout the country. John was on, some other friends from another group were on. So we had at one point, I think we had like 8 people on different Zoom from North Carolina, from Pennsylvania, and those are interesting. But the problem is we didn't have the same beer, and people were just basically, it was like a wild card. You would take your beers out, you would describe them, which is fine. That's fun too, and it was good. But I actually like the ones better, and they have a more homey kind of feel when the people physically come to my house, and I provide most of the beer, but people do bring. He's saying that. Am I referring to the Scudder Falls Bridge? It's possible I am, because it was a free bridge, and he's saying when he worked in Trenton, he took that bridge. There's a good chance that's the bridge that we took. So there is at least one free bridge between Jersey and Pennsylvania. That's Bart Robinson. He's one of my Facebook friends, and
by the way, Bert Robertson, I also have a Facebook page too. Michael can send you the link, and if he wants, and you can subscribe. I mean, you'll see beers. That's it, because that's what it is, Alex Beer Master. But yeah. So nice to meet you. Go ahead, Michael. Sorry.
It's funny. The group of people that we're dealing with is like a very specialized group of people, because everybody is not a beer aficionado. It's kind of it's an exclusive group, and we're obviously serious about what we do, but we're not trying to be, we're not saying somebody who drinks macro beers, we're not looking down on them, because we usually do examinations with craft beer, but we're not looking down. People are into whatever they're into, and that's it. And you can't be a hypocrite about it. So you're going to drink different styles. I drink a macro beer every once in a while. Somebody gives me one.
Go.
I rate them. I do it. It's funny. Sometimes the decision whether to have a macro beer or not can be that I have so much beer that I've amassed that I would rather go to a wild card one where I can use anything I have than have to go down to the corner store like Jay just did one on Budweiser this last Wednesday. I would have had to go and buy one. Now, it didn't have to be straight Bud. It could have been a Bud product, but I still would have had to buy it. Now I have all this extra beer that I have. So I went on Eric's show instead. Eric does a wild card Wednesday the same time that Jay does his. Now Jay's is exclusively different things, different themes every Wednesday. So if I have the beer already that Jay is doing, I will go on Jay's site and go on his thing. If I don't, then I go on Eric's show. And I think, didn't you actually hosted that Wednesday night deal?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I did. Mm-hmm.
Couple of weeks ago. So Eric does band activities with his, the band that he plays with, and there are times he's got band practice, so he's not able to come on every Wednesday. But most of the time,
if you can't come on, I'll take over Wildcard Wednesday. I mean, that was the first time I did Wildcard Wednesday, but I would do it again. It was fun.
And it's funny now, it's almost like I'm getting to the same point with Malty Monday. If I can't get the beer on Jesse's thing, then I've been coming on the next day. Beer Man does a beer and cheese Tuesday, and that's also wild card where I can drink any beer that I want. So it's almost like I'm not against people doing specific events. It's just that what I'm trying to do now is cut through some of the extra beers I have and drink them without amassing more. I'm still buying beer, don't get me wrong. I just try to keep control because in IPAs, the hops will over time go bad, and you don't want to sit on them too long. You can keep, Imperial Stouts longer because they could be cellared. So there's a difference.
Oh yeah, Stouts you can do whatever you want as long as they're.
But now those are the higher alcohol ones though. Like something like this, the one I'm doing today, you wouldn't want to.
Yeah, you don't want to age that. No.
It's 5.4%. It's not going to get much better if you keep it. It's going to always be the same, and it could get worse if you keep it too long because. Right,
like I said, it has to be at 10%, 12%, 17%.
At least 8. I would use 8 as the bottom line. You could probably get away with an 8% beer, depending on what type beer it is, too.
True that. And if you want to age it for barley wine, that's okay. If it's a barley wine version, or you're waiting for that beer to turn into a barley wine.
It's funny now. Even some of these, you wouldn't get it so much with these New England style IPAs, but the older style IPAs they used to make, the West Coast ones, some of the East Coast ones. If you don't mind the hops fading, you can cellar those. But what you're going to end up getting is a barley wine type because the hops will go underneath the malts. The malts will basically, if you age that, the malts will take over, and then you'll have a heavily malty beer, which is not what the brewer intended, but it's still very drinkable. And if you like malt forward beers, they can still be good. It's just that, you pay top dollar for the hops, and this way,
like for instance, I have a strawberry beer. Is it strawberry? I think it's strawberry. Well, this is the beer I'm talking about as well, and then I'm gonna do my rating because I know Arj is probably up now. Most likely, I don't know, but this is the beer I'm talking about.
I've never seen that one. Like I told you, I went to that brewery one time, so I have it there. I've never seen that one.
Well, you'll like it if you really like coconut. Obviously, you do. That's fully coconut. This is what I'm talking about. I don't know if it's still good or not. Let's see what the date is. Let me show you the date, and then we can figure this out.
Let's see. So that's okay. So that was made on February 9th of this year. So that's 2 months old. What kind of beer is it?
It's a milkshake IPA, and I drank it. It was not too bad.
That's fine. I would say that'd be good for another month even. You could keep that into early May with no problem.
Okay. Awesome.
I'm saying 3 months. Sometimes these IPA companies say 6 months. So I mean it varies according to what they suggest, whatever.
Well, actually, let me see what the ABV is first. And it obviously tells you ice cream, desserts, and cheese, because obviously it's like, milkshake. It's a milkshake IPA. It's a 1 pint. Okay, 7.2.
Okay. I'd say you're fine with that through the whole spring. You wouldn't have to worry, but don't keep that into the summer because then you're
right. Well, then it would be like.
Well, the hops are going to start fading. You're not going to get the milkshake effect, which is what you want. So it'll start fading over time. And I'm sure you want to do it on your channel anyway and do a review. So this way you'll get it at its top. You know, it's still just over 2 months old. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
True that. And I wish Cape May distribute to you because you would like that beer. I don't know if you like milkshake IPAs. I also have this beer here that I just recently got. It is the Strawberry Dream Milkshake IPA from Southern Tier. That is a good beer if you can get Southern Tier Strawberry
Get
Dream.
Southern Tier. I've never seen that one.
But yeah, so if you can get that, if you can find it, please try it and let me know because it is very good. If you like strawberry, it's strawberry forward.
Southern Tier is from upstate New York, and I've
I've
always had access to some of their beers. I've never seen that one. I could look for it though, for sure.
Yeah.
So you want to give your score, and I'll write it down.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that. Me and you have a great time having these conversations, and I enjoy your company. So, well, you know what? For right now, I'm going to give this 100. Good beer. Now, you obviously had this before.
No.
So what did you think?
I think I gave it a 98. But again, I don't give hundreds. So I'm in a different grouping, whatever. I'm still looking for 100, and I haven't found it yet. But
well, see, not every beer gets 100.
Right.
Not every beer gets 100. Because I'm still going to give it room. I gave it 100. I didn't give it 100 plus. So there's still room to give it 100 plus, but I'm not going to do that. I have never, I don't think, gave it 100 plus any of the beers. I don't think. But I've always gave it 100 or 99 or 80 or 9. Well, not 80 because that would be it. So I
have given 99s before. Some of the bourbon counties that I've had, I've given 99. The Bourbon County Stouts and the variants that I've had, I've given 99. So I've probably given 99 to some of the founder stuff too.
You have this, Michael, aging.
Yeah, that's an amazing beer, and it seems like that's consistently good every year. So
another one, let me show you. It's actually in my bag. I know you have to go, but I get in these conversations with you. It's not even fun. But you're a very talkative person, Michael, and that's why I enjoy your company. Listen, my opinion. That's what I have. But wait a minute. Let me see if I can.
That's another good beer. So you got that at your local place near you?
No, actually, this one I got for Christmas. The other two, I've actually drank this one. I've only drank 2 out of them. I've drank this one. It was pretty good.
I don't think I've had that one. Is that from this year?
Where's the year? Okay, 2020. No. So it's 2000. So it's not from this year.
No, 2020 is the latest ones there are. There's no 2021 until this November. So that's as late as they come.
And then I had this one. This you would love. This is the apple one. This was an apple one.
I haven't seen. See the ones we've gotten here, the variants we've gotten here. Definitely not that one.
Which ones did you get? If you can remember.
What's it called? It was. See, it changes every year. We always get the stout, the regular stout, and
the one I just showed you. Yeah,
what you just showed me. And I'm trying to think which variants were here this year. It's funny now. I purchased variants before, but I haven't purchased variants in a while. They used to make a barley wine variant years ago. I purchased that. They've since changed that to a wheat wine variant. I'm not sure they're having this year or not. But John has had access to more variants because he's what's it called? He in Georgia can't get the can't
Sorry.
he can't get the stout because it's over 14%. So
Oh yeah, because when you're looking at it,
yeah,
it is.
it's definitely over 14%.
Oh yeah, 14.1 or something. I'm not sure.
Whatever it is, in Georgia, you can't get more than 14. It's 14.1. So that beer, John cannot get in Georgia. He was
Now
able.
he can get it from other YouTubers, but he can't get it himself. Yes.
He bought. I think when he went to visit Jay in Louisiana, and he brought back 2 different variants. He didn't see the stout, but he was able to get 2 variants that were over 14%, and brought those back to Georgia with him. But it's not just Georgia. Alabama has the same laws as well, so it's not whatever. And that's one good thing about New Jersey. So you can't have alcohol in your Trader Joe's, but there's no limit on the alcohol. In other words, it can be a beer. I would say my picture faded, but then came back.
Yeah, you froze for a second. Sorry about that.
There's no alcohol limit to my knowledge, because I know in New York there isn't, and that's a good thing. So you can buy.
Honestly, I've been looking for it. This obviously doesn't exist right now unless you find it in some crazy store, some bottle store. I've been wanting to try to get Big Ass Money Stout, and I think you've heard of it. I've heard it's brewed with money. I've heard it was brewed with pizza, which doesn't make sense to me. But Johnny Boy's had it.
I've had it. I still have the can up with my. I keep some of the beers that I finished on a mantle, and I still have the can up. I think it's 17.5%.
It is 17%. But do you think it's worth hunting it down if I can find it somewhere?
If you can find it, but I think it's out of production. I don't think they're making it anymore.
Well, no, I'm saying if I find it in old stores. That's what
sure. Something like that would be. So if you see that, pick it up, because something like that could have a very long shelf life because it's so high.
It's 17%. I mean, I've never even heard of a 17% until that beer.
If you see one,
go ahead.
If you see one, I would pick it up, because that's something which
I've never heard of it.
Fine. And the company that makes it, Evil Twin, has a facility not too far from me in Queens on the other side. Brooklyn and Queens are connected. We're all on parts of Long Island, and I think they're in Ridgewood, which is about, 20 minutes from me driving. So we could go. I could go. That's why I mentioned why I probably would be unlikely to go to Captain Lawrence. I'd like to see all these local places that are within 20 minutes of me, rather than go up into Westchester, which would be an hour and a half away, whatever it would be to go.
You can always have a train.
Yeah, but it's involved, though. See, keep in mind, if you're going to take the train up, which would be Metro North, you first would have to take a subway train to get to Grand Central in Manhattan, then you'd have to take a train. It's involved. You're almost better off going with a group of people, and you just have a designated driver who doesn't drink, and everybody else drinks, and then you switch off and do it that way. So, but like I said, I'd rather go locally. And as things ease with the pandemic, I'd be more likely to do that, and I will.
And you know what, Michael? I'm hoping in the next year or this year or whatever, I hope to meet you, actually, Michael, because I have YouTubers that are up here, which is you, Brandon and Trish, Bumpy. Even though I met Bumpy, I'm already friends with him in real life anyway. But Brandon and Trish, they're friends on YouTube. So I'm going to try to get them to be my friends in real life, which won't take long because I'll be there and I'll be visiting them.
Right.
So out of all my YouTube friends, you're all real friends in real life no matter what, but you know what I mean.
I got it.
Bumpy is the only one that is actually my real life friend as of right now.
Well, I haven't met anybody else except Jay Terrio, of all the people who we're on with as far as personal friends go. But it's not like if somebody came to Brooklyn or was around that I wouldn't have anything to do with them. I would meet up and do whatever we could and whatever. I met another friend who you've probably heard his name mentioned through Jay, who also came over to my house in 2015, who's become a good, close personal friend. His code name is Giant Space Monkey, but his name is Doug. And he was there that first time. And since he's become a really close personal friend, he's also a beer friend, but he's also a, friend. And it's been sad with the pandemic because he has a 4-year-old daughter, and he's been extra protective, and I completely understand because she goes to a local school. It's like a nursery school. It's pre-K, kindergarten kind of thing, and they made the different parents from her school take they can't force you to do it, but they said, we want you not to associate with people while your daughter's in school because there's a chance you'd bring the COVID home, and then she would catch it and spread it to the other students. And I know he's been vaccinated, but he's, waiting now until I think the end of the school year, and then maybe we'll get together, which will be a really good thing because I haven't seen.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. I don't know.
We keep in touch on, we send each other texts and we send each other communication. He never has taken part in any of the events on StreamYard or on what used to be, what was it called? Google
Hangouts.
Google
It's
Hangouts.
still, it's still Google Hangouts. It's just you can't go live anymore on it.
Right.
I can call you on Google. Well, no, not now because I made it. It's into the new version, but I can invite you into Google Meet. So basically,
they still exist, but it's not something where you can put it onto YouTube after. You can't.
Right.
It's just more of a sitting down event and just talking. Yeah, I guess I've been on some of those since, because sometimes after we finish the StreamYard thing, somebody else will do a Google Hangout on the Google channel, and I'm still able to get on that. So I've done that.
It's very rare. It's very rare.
Doug has never taken part. Now he watches them after because he knows other people. He knows Jay. He knows me. He's seen the different ones, so he has seen it. But he's.
Did you ever see me?
I'm not sure, but it's not, his deal is not out of being shy. It's just that he feels that his capability in beer is more of an in-person thing. And people have that feeling. In other words, some people are willing to go and talk about it and where other people can watch them, and other ones, and he's an ex-musician, a band musician. He's done that.
That's cool.
He's not afraid per se. He just chooses to keep his beer activities just personal. So Bart Robinson has had Cape May Brewery products too.
Hey, what's up there, Bert? Yeah, I've had Cape May brewing beers. That, like I said, that is the beer that I just showed Michael.
I've never seen one here. I will look for it. I've never seen a Cape May product here.
Well, it is a New Jersey beer, but it should, with the pandemic and all,
Right.
it should, still grow, but some of the beer.
It's fun. I have a really good selection at my there's a place right up a corner, half a block from me, that has a terrific beer selection. And I have the same problem with them, that they don't sell any singles. Everything is 4-packs. And again, the same reason I don't want to make a huge investment. I have bought beer from them before, though. I just try and to keep it to singles if I can. And maybe they have some Jersey beers. I'll have to look through some of the stuff they have. And
is there any stores in your area that still do singles? Because now you're saying that other store don't do singles anymore.
This corner store doesn't. It's hard. It is hard to find. Trader Joe's that sells beer does singles. So that's okay. There. I bought 2 of these, but I only had to buy one. They sell 6-packs and 12-packs if you want to buy it, but they don't. They don't hit you on the price. If you buy a single, it's a 1/6 of the 6-pack, which I see. That's the way I would do it, because you figure you get some people who don't want to make a big investment and don't want to buy a 6-pack. I know you're getting more sales by selling 6-packs,
or you're getting more beer for yourself.
Just getting more beer, but again, if you're one person, you can only drink. And Audrey does like some beers, so it's, in other words, there are times we'll have beer with dinner, and she'll split a beer with me, but she doesn't like everything. She doesn't like.
Did you ever try this?
Yes, she likes it.
Oh, did she ever try the KBS espresso, the KBS?
She hasn't tried all of them, but she does. Okay. She does like particularly high alcohol beers, especially Stout. So she does. That's one area she does like, which is a good thing.
Well, that's good because that keep you guys together forever.
Well, she drinks wine too, so she likes other alcohol as well. She likes vodka too. So she's like Blake in that way, but she's more discriminating, I think, than Blake in her vodka choices. Even though Blake might like other brands of vodka, he seems to stick to one. He may like other ones too. I don't even I see he sometimes comes on with his vodka and gives you a quick shot and whatever, hangs out with us for a while. And
I haven't seen Blake in a while. I know he's still obviously okay because he's still doing his show with
and he also comes on sometimes when we're on. Like he came on a wild card maybe 3 weeks ago or a month ago. And, I think it was on Eric's channel. And he said, it's, you're allowed to bring vodka or wine, but it's fine because, you get to see him and you see he's doing okay. And that's all good for sure. So Alex, you want to wrap things up because we're at 56 minutes?
It's an hour. It's an hour because we start at 10:30. We're at 11:30. I'll tell you, it gets really busy here. So
appreciate you hosting.
Go ahead, Michael. What?
I appreciate you hosting. And
anytime.
I as far as I know, John will be back hosting next Sunday. So
so I will let you guys know on that. Johnny Boy will be back, as far as we know, on Stout Sunday next week at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time on his channel known as Georgia Beer Reviews or John Anelli. But just look up Georgia Beer Reviews, and that'll be easy. And obviously, that's John Anelli's co-host, which is my co-host once in a while when we do Stout Sunday on my channel. But either way, it's cool beans. Again, Michael, thanks for joining. And
so Alex, maybe I'll see you. If not, are you going to be on Bumpy Show tomorrow? For
if I can find the
English brown ale is what he
if I can find that, I will be definitely on because I really enjoy being on the Bumpy Show because he's always on my show every year.
He's also been to Flying Fish too, like I have. He mentioned just there he's been to the Flying Fish, which is just outside Camden, not far from where you live.
I tell you, I heard that Camden's better now since they have that new police force, but they were really bad for years.
In the old days, it used to be a place that we avoided. I remember too. I remember.
Because they got a new police force. I don't know what it's called now, but they did everything.
Whatever it is, it's a good thing. So again, Alex, thanks for hosting. I appreciate it, and I'll see you. I don't know which day I'll see you from now on. I may be on the cheese and beer thing with Beer Man this week because I have not found one.
Oh, wait a minute. We got the legendary Ron Terrio here.
See, he's got baseball. He's doing baseball this afternoon. That's why he didn't join.
That's okay. So thank you, chat. Thank you, Michael. This is Alex Beermaster, and I'll see you all in the next live stream, next video. It's Alex Beermaster signing out. And Johnny Boy will be back.
Enjoy your stouts.
Yes. So what are you going to do for the rest?